Hello there, I'm Handy Gui and welcome to your 5 p.m. English news on TVS. Let's dive into the news. State Disaster Management Committee Chairman Dato' Amar Douglas Uga Embas said on Friday that Sarawak was satisfied with the facilities at various hospitals for COVID-19 treatment. Uga said the state was aware of the need to increase the capacity of various hospitals throughout Sarawak, including for daily screening, which had been increased from 2,500 to 5,000 tests. Moreover, SDMC advisor Dato' Sri Dr. Sim Kui Hian said the Ministry of Health had set aside urgent funds totaling 57 million ringgit for the upgrading of facilities and intensive care unit beds at government hospitals in Sarawak following the recent surge of COVID-19 cases. Dr. Sim, who is also the local government and housing minister, said 21 million ringgit of that amount was set aside for the upgrading of facilities and equipment as well as regions for various laboratories at government hospitals across the state. Dr. Sim added, the Sarawak government had also allocated urgent funds of 1 million ringgit each for Limbang and Kapit to enable these two divisions to carry out polymerase chain reaction PCR tests at their respective local hospitals. The home-based teaching and learning PDPR method should focus on core subjects in the effort to reduce stress faced by students and teachers. According to University Kebangsaan Malaysia Center of Education and Community Wellness lecturer Anwar Ahmad, several countries had dropped the number of subjects taken by students during this pandemic and given priority to core subjects. He added, this does not mean that other subjects are not important, but for now, priorities have to be set. Moreover, the syllabus for off-site teaching and learning methods used in rural primary schools should be improved, depending on students' ability levels to ensure that no one is left behind. Bintulu Member of Parliament Dato' Sri Tiong Singh yesterday urged netizens not to be irresponsible keyboard warriors during this extraordinary period of COVID-19 pandemic by spreading unverified news. He said that causing public panic could not put unnecessary strain on frontliners.
He is certain that the group which perpetrated the spreading are educated and that they are fully aware of the implications of their actions. Hence, he stressed that everyone should act responsibly so as to not sow panic and distress. Furthermore, he said if the people wish to ease the burden of frontliners, he urged them to adhere to the stipulated standard operating procedures. He also reminded people not to go out of the house if it is unnecessary to curb and sever the chain of COVID-19 infections in Bintulu.
All right, there is a need to develop nurseries that can supply 600,000 trees of various species to ensure the success of the forest landscape restoration program. Deputy Chief Minister Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan said the state government is committed to the 100 million trees planting campaign, which is part of the Greening Malaysia program by the federal government. The 78th National Land Council meeting chaired by the Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin was held online yesterday and attended by state leaders throughout Malaysia. Meanwhile, Awang Tengah, who is also the second Minister of Urban Development and Natural Resources, requested the federal government to consider allocating 20 million ringgit for the purpose under the 12th Malaysia Plan. He also explained on the success of the implementation of one-day land registration in the state and how the Land and Survey Department improved the efficiency of registration by implementing 100% same-day registration in 2020. Awang Tengah added the use of the eLaces portal had also enhanced the capability to deal with land administrative matters in Sarawak. Hello there and welcome back. The Sarawak Marine Police have seized smuggled cigarettes and beer worth 702,814 ringgit, including taxes, during a raid at a house at Jalan Trusan at about 3:30 p.m. yesterday afternoon. Sarawak Marine Police Region 5 Commander ACP Shamsul Qasim said a total of 910,000 sticks of cigarettes of different brands and 128 boxes of crates of beers were seized during the raid. The inspection of the two-story house at the location was carried out by a team of Marine Police members through Ops Landai COVID-19. After waiting for 2 hours and when nobody came to acknowledge the house, the raiding team broke through the door and found the smuggled items. He said the items were kept inside the premise without a valid permit. The case has been handed over to the Cebu District Police Headquarters for investigation under Section 135(1)(d) of the Custom Act 1967. Right. The Entrepreneur Development and Cooperatives Ministry MEDAC, through its agencies Bank Rakyat and the Cooperative Commission of Malaysia, SKM had handed over almost 700,000 ringgit of aid to needy groups in Sarawak. In a statement today, its Minister Dato Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar said, "In trying times like these, all forms of assistance are very much welcome to help lighten the burden faced by those who are in need. SKM has set aside 402,500 ringgit worth of assistance, both in cash and food items, to flood victims and local cooperatives who were affected by flood that hit the state recently." Meanwhile, Bank Rakyat donated 112,000 ringgit worth of back-to-school items to 700 underprivileged students in Sarawak, which is part of its nationwide back-to-school corporate social responsibility drive. 1 million ringgit was also allocated to help in provision of school supplies, including school uniforms, to 6,000 students throughout the country. The bank and its subsidiary Zakat Rakyat Holdings also handed over 21,500 ringgit and 154,350 ringgit worth of zakat, respectively, to more than 1,000 Asnaf families in the Santubong parliamentary area. Malaysia's external trade for 2021 is expected to remain modest, with exports projected to rebound by as much as 2.7%. Senior Minister Dato Sri Mohammed Azmin Ali said the outlook for 2021 is expected to be better, as the World Bank and International Monetary Fund (IMF) had forecast that global growth will rebound as much as 4% and 5% respectively. Mohammed Azmi noted that Malaysia's export had been showing signs of recovery since September 2020, with positive year-on-year growth. He added the recent signing of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership (RCEP) agreement, the biggest FTA in the world, would provide Malaysian companies and businesses with access to more than a third of the world's market, attract foreign direct investment, and a boon to Malaysia's export growth. While these are challenging times, the government's priority is to place the nation firmly on the path of economic recovery, particularly with the 12th Malaysian Plan, as a blueprint for sustainable growth founded on sound economic fundamentals and decisive policy measures. Singapore will be suspending their reciprocal green lane arrangements with Malaysia, Germany, and South Korea for a period of 3 months beginning February 1st. The Republic's Ministry of Foreign Affairs (MFA) said the government of Singapore would review the reciprocal green lane arrangements at the end of the suspension period. The ministry noted that travellers who had already been approved to enter Singapore under these arrangements can continue to do so. The MFA said the government of Singapore would continue to monitor the global situation and adjust its border measures to manage the risk of importation and transmission of COVID-19 to the community. Besides that, 3 countries, Singapore, also had RGL arrangements with Brunei Darussalam, Indonesia, Japan, as well as 6 regions in China. The RGL aims to facilitate short-term essential business and official travel. And that concludes our 5 p.m. English news on TVS. Don't forget to tune in for the Nightline at 11:30 p.m. with Cheryl Shaminato. My name is Handy Gui. Have a pleasant day.